Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and as promised, we're going to do our head-to-head here of Bowman Brothers, their small batch versus Buffalo Trace, just a standard Buffalo Trace release. I thought that this was a store pick, but I'm not seeing anything on this particular one that is leading me to believe that it is. So, let's get into this. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I believe, at least that's what I've been led to believe, that this Bowman Brothers is this mash bill number 1 Buffalo Trace distillate taken to the Bowman Brothers distillery and then redistilled and then barreled there. This is $39.99 in Spearfish, South Dakota. This Buffalo Trace here in town is $19.99. Both are sitting at 90 proof or 45% ABV. So we shall see which one kind of comes out here. Now, I want to believe that the power suggestion doesn't really work on me so much. Of course, everybody wants to believe that, but I don't have any preconceived notions on this. It's been so long since I've actually drank Buffalo Trace that I don't really have the greatest recollection of what it tastes like. So this will be a good one for me to be able to really pick out which is which. I'm not like the colors, the everything, like nothing's really influencing me too much other than my knowledge of Buffalo Trace prior to, or what I think my knowledge of Buffalo Trace is. So here we go. On the nose, having a lot of trouble getting anything out of this glass. So I'm going to warm this up a little bit because at this junction, I'm not getting anything. I'm throwing my nose in there and I am not getting anything out of this glass. So we'll see here. Now, normally, here's my recollection. Again, watch many of my videos. You'll see that I refer to the Buffalo Trace nose profile. To me, it's very strong, ripe apple, honey, light, almost a slight, like lilac, flowery type nose. And then the flavor profile is very short, watery thin, honey forward, or maybe instead of lilac, maybe honeysuckle would be a good one. Honey forward, sweet with just a hint of oak on the back end, but nothing really. It's just a very light, easy drinking whiskey profile, both in the nose and in the flavor. And because of that, I've never been an over the moon fan of Buffalo Trace. It's fine. Okay, now having let it kind of worked around in the glass a little bit, warmed it up a little bit, I'm getting just that little bit brown sugar, like just the slightest bit of that darker nosing note, but it's mostly honey and a floral apple. Normally when I think of the apple on the Buffalo Trace, I'm thinking of like a Honey Crisp, but right now it's kind of more of a Washington. Doesn't really have that sour note to it. So just like picture your average red apple. Kind of what I'm getting out of it. With a honey and just a little bit of that maybe honeysuckle floral component in it. On the taste, super watery, thin forward. Ethanol picked up at the end of the first kind of 3 beats. It was sweet, honey, vanilla, caramel, slight tannic oak, dryness, astringent finish. Okay, but it was mostly a sweet venture for the first 2/3 of the palate, but very watered down, very light in flavor. Nothing really dominating. Nothing really jumping out of the glass at me. Okay. And then the nose is now a little bit more pronounced. A little bit more floral than I remember. Towards that honeysuckle. But yeah. Okay. going to the Bowman brothers now. See what we get here. Ooh. Okay. Much sweeter nose, much more dense nose. It smelled like candy corn a little bit, just a little bit of a candy corn in there. Kind of at the top, then it moves into a sweeter caramel. It's like candy corn caramel. Very sweet notes. Now this is funny because not at all the nosing notes that I got just 20 minutes ago when I did the review of this. So straight away, much denser, richer nose. I get that apple in there, like a bright, honey, crisp, sweet apple. Okay. On the taste. Much sweeter, more rounded and creamy mouthfeel. The flavor profile is just a really nice, well-balanced, denser flavor profile of caramel, sweet, honey, vanilla. Fruit picks up kind of at the back end, and that astringency this time has kind of got knocked down a little bit. It's not as tannic oak in there. And neither of these have a very pronounced oak flavor. It is there. It's just not like smacking you in the face at all. It's just something that's a very subtle, nice, light characteristic. Head to head, this Bowman Brothers is twice as rich and dense in flavor as this Buffalo Trace. Now, maybe it's just this particular bottling. They're cranking out so much Buffalo Trace at this point. The flavor drift, who knows what the actual like signature Buffalo Trace flavor profile is. I would have to try many, many more pours from different bottles to kind of say like this is Buffalo Trace. But if these are indeed the same distillate, I might regret the words I had spoken in my review of the Bowman Brothers. I think at twice the price, so this is $20 locally, this was $40. I would much rather spend the $40 on this Bowman Brothers than I would the $20 on the Buffalo Trace. So for all of you out there who are hunting Buffalo Trace, if you can find the Bowman Brothers, pick it up. It's better value in my opinion. It's a better whiskey to explore, to sit and enjoy. The Buffalo Trace is just so much lighter in profile all the way around. Even now, the nose is so light that sticking my nose in, I still am not pulling hardly anything out of it. Going back to it, the sweet up front, a little bit of corn dust in there, kind of ramped up a little bit. But that flavor profile is still so tamped down, so watered down that it's just not anything special. Going back to the Bowman Brothers, the nose is way more vibrant, way more dense. And the palate is more dense, creamier mouthfeel, just a better whiskey product all the way around. So there you go, head to head, Bowman Brothers versus Buffalo Trace. I'm going to be a Bowman Brothers fan. I'm actually kind of digging that a fair bit. So, Buffalo Trace, mix it in some stuff, whatever. If you're a fan, like I said before, check out the benchmarks, check out the Ancient Age, check out the Old Charter number 8. There's other products out there from the Buffalo Trace Distillery that you can find readily available, bottom shelf. So this is 90 proof. I'd say it's worth dropping down to the 80 proof to find the Ancient Age and the Old Charter. You get better flavor, denser flavor. I think both of those are hitting way above their price point when you compare it to a Buffalo Trace. And I think the average Joe is unaware that those products are also Buffalo Trace products, and they're way better. They have better flavor, in my opinion, more flavor at a cheaper point, even though the alcohol is less. The experience is better. So there you go. Bowman Brothers for the win. Drop in the comments down below. You think I'm off my rocker? If I knocked it out of the park, what your experience is, go ahead, do a head-to-head for yourself. Tell me where I'm wrong or if I'm right. And also what the price points are for you in your area, as well as how obtainable either of these products are for you. Maybe you can't get either of these and you're just kind of SOL. If that's the case, check out some of the other bottles that I've described before, especially because Buffalo Trace is kind of the lower end of a lot of things. I think you'd serve yourself much better to be picking up either the Four Roses yellow label, Wild Turkey, either the 81, the 101, the Long Branch, Russell's Reserve 10, this Yellowstone I've talked about. I think that's a much better product. If you're a Knob Creek fan, if you like that nutty flavor, like any of the base offerings from most other distilleries, I think you are going to be better served than you are to be putting in time, money, and energy into hunting down just regular Buffalo Trace if it's not readily available for a reasonably cheap price. I'm talking under 25 bucks. So that's just my 2 cents, but what do I know? I'm just a guy drinking whiskey on YouTube. Thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with anybody who you think might get a little bit of value out of this. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.